In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing how to color a grayscale painting using gradient maps, okay? And so this, what I have on my screen right now is a painting I've been working on in Procreate all week. And I painted most of it in grayscale before I started coloring it, and mainly because this car was so difficult to develop here, and new cars like this are really hard to kind of draw because of all the subtle curves. And so I made all this, and then I was able to actually color it very quickly using gradient maps. Okay, and so I'm going to be showing how to use gradient maps in Photoshop. In Procreate, they're fairly easy, very fairly intuitive, and I could do a tutorial on it. But in I'm going to be showing this in Photoshop because Photoshop is a little harder to work with. You know, I don't know why, but they didn't make it easy. Okay, and there's some tricks here that you gotta understand. I have a picture here that I would like to pick color off of, but the problem is that in using a gradient map, you and on a layer, like a layer adjustment, you can't pick colors outside of your image, okay? So I have this all split up. This is a different composition as far as format because this format is for our project. And anyone listening on YouTube, this is for my concept art at Kennesaw State University. And we have an extremely wide format for our project, which is 21 inches wide by 9 inches high. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to color first the sky. And I have placed this image in here so I can pick color off of it. Because let's go over to our layers, and I've got this all the way over here just so that it stays out of the way. Um, Go to my adjustment layers. We're going to look for gradient map, and boom, it puts on this gradient right here. You have to have your properties panel up, okay? Because that's where you're going to click inside this gradient, and then it brings up the gradient editor. All right, so it's clunky that way. In Procreate, it's much more simplistic, and it took me a little while to get used to using the ones in Photoshop. Okay, I have some gradients that I've already made, but I'm going to show you about working with the gradient. Like we could use the default, which is what we have here, and I'm going to just start off by picking off some color. We're going to click on one of these color stops where the color goes in, okay? And we could just simply come over here and click a color. Whoops. Okay. This is a problem, and I know what the problem is, and I'll show you, okay? The problem is um, if you look at the layer here for the gradient map in the layers palette, notice what's being selected. It's that masking area. So I'm going to have to cancel out. Okay. So we're going to cancel out of here, come back over to here, and click on this icon showing the gradient. Okay. So if that happens to you, now you know how to fix it. Okay. So now let's go back to the properties panel, click on this, and then we'll go and choose one of these, the default one, because that's what you'll probably have when you come in here, unless it puts in. And sometimes what you could do is you can pick a foreground background color, and when you open this, it will put that first color in. Okay, it'll put the foreground background color. But anyway, let's go in and we'll click on this color stop here, get my eyedropper, and this time it's working. Okay, it's a little subtle because this is so far over, but see if I drag this over here, you can see it's coloring that. All right, and let's put in another color right here. We'll just click below the gradient bar, similar to Illustrator. Okay, and we can pick another color off of here like this. Ooh, that's nice and bright. You know, um, drag that in further perhaps, and maybe we'll pick a bright yellow for this. Okay, something like that. Now we could pick an intermediate color too in here, so we'll put another one here. Maybe this intermediate color would be something kind of more like this. Okay. This color, I'm wondering about trying to pick up something kind of like this. That's kind of interesting. I know we can't see the entire thing because this is covering it up and my other image is covering it up. But anyway, that's how we can pick off colors off an image. Because if you notice, if I come over to here and try to pick off color here, well, it does finally. Okay. All right. So they must have upgraded this because I have two versions of, and this is working now. I have two versions of Photoshop, and Photoshop 2023 was not letting me do it. So that's why I was starting off with a picture inside. So if you're using the latest version of Photoshop, it will actually let you pick off color from an image that you have uploaded. Okay, so we could take, something like this is my old one here. We'll bring it over here, and we can pick off color from that. See that? And of course, we're in the wrong color picker area there, the wrong stop. But now we can do this. We can do this. That's good to know, okay, that they've actually updated it. All right, so once you've picked your colors, and I'll just use these for the moment. I have some others I already have too. Then you can actually name this, and we'll call this, I don't know, bright sky, or you just call it anything really. Something you can remember, perhaps, but just something that separates it out in case you need to look for it. And we go new, and then I'll actually put it in here, okay? I have some that I've already created, and you see how it just instantly changes it. It's awesome. I love this. This is so cool, okay? I'm going to use that earlier one here for the moment, and we may go back to another one. The one that I actually made. I'm going to use it for the moment, and we may go and change it, okay? So I'm just going to drag this over here a little bit. There we go. Now, I just saw something outside my door here. I think it was a cat. I apologize. There's always cats around my house. So anyway, let's color the flames. And let's see what we can do with it, because I've already got a pre-made color for it. So the deal is this. If we're going to color something, and actually, you know what? Let's color the castle before I color the flames. We're going to go up to the castle layer here, because that's what this is. It's supposed to be a castle of, the Disney World castle. Anyway, if you just go and click on the layer and then you go to color map, what happens is it puts the color over the entire thing. And you notice in the mask, it's white. You may like that, but mind you, we lose the gradient map for the sky that we had originally. So what you have to do is this. Click your command key or control key if you're on a PC. Click the icon of the layer. So you select the shape in there. And then come over here and do gradient map. And voila. It will work like that, okay? And I think I may have one set up for this one already. Because you can see it looks really nice and dark. I can bring this out perhaps, because the thing is that this sky is a little brighter than the other one I was working with earlier, and I was doing another tutorial and something went awry. So I'm just playing around here for a moment. Maybe I might want to. Again. Okay, cancel. What's happening is I'm inside this. We have to make sure that when we do this, we're on the gradient and not the mask, okay? Because if I want to change that, and let's go back over to here, what we're working on here. If I was wanting to change this color, and I'll just put another color here, for instance, we can come over here now and pick a color there, all right? And I'm just going to play around and just quickly color this thing. I like that. That's nice. Okay, now let's color the flames. So again, let's go to the flames down below here and make sure. See, if I go and just put it on, pull up the gradient map, it's going to put it above this. And I'll show you what it looks like, by the way. So we'll go gradient map, and see, it's coloring all that. You don't want that, all right? So we'll undo that. Make sure you are where the layer's at, okay? We'll go to this layer here. And then we go to gradient map. And I've already got one picked out here for this. And It's fairly bright. I call it, I think, flame. So this one right here. Cool. All right. Click OK. And you see how fast it is. Because what it's doing is it's coloring each value. You know, it's not like hue and saturation. Hue and saturation colors everything. So, you know, let me go over to this flame here. And it colors everything with the same color. And it puts it in the different values. So let's go to here and we'll do, oops, here again. I just had a situation because I'm in this mask. Okay? And when I did that, so I'm clicking, I'm in this mask here. And I'm showing all the things that can go wrong. All right. When it makes a gradient map, it's black and white, okay? And no matter what you do here to put anything in, it's not going to put it in, okay? So we'll cancel out of that. We'll just, I don't know if it'll let me undo because sometimes it was not letting me, it's not letting me undo. I'm just going to delete that. All right, so let's go to the flames above here, okay? There they are. And we'll click on my command key or control key, depending on what you're working on, and go down here to gradient map, and we'll put the same one on. And that looks really cool. Okay, and we're just gonna keep kind of going along here. So like, there's Walt here. There's a statue of Walt Disney without his head, and Mickey. And I think this may be this may not be from Florida. This may be from out in California. But I thought it would be cool to put into this image. And let's go and do another gradient map here. I think I actually named this one. Let's see here. Got that one here. Got this one here. Yeah, I mean, I've got so many in here. It's so cool. But we could start using some of these and changing them up, okay? Because I like how dark that is. That is cool. Now, we may want to, since we got all these bright colors in the background, is to put cool colors so it will separate them out. And so let's start doing that. So I'm going to change that up just a little bit here. Let's maybe pick a cool. Look at that. I love this. This saves so much time and effort. You know, once you know what you're doing with it, it'll make your life much faster. Make your job much faster. I was going to say make your life much faster, but anyway, let's continue on here. So I kind of like that. We'll go to the gate layer. We'll click on it. Put a gradient map on it. It's just so fast. That's what I love about this. Yeah, I like that because I'd used this before. And so I'm not having to make new ones. Let's turn off this picture. Okay, we don't need that anymore. And we'll go to the car. And we'll click on it. And go gradient map. And I think I might have used that one before. But anyway, I'm gonna make some adjustments here on this. I'll bring this over here. Maybe this color needs to become more cooler. Ooh, yeah, I like that. And then we could make and this color could be a little darker, perhaps, or just click OK. Now here's the problem. I can't go to the slider. I cannot go and slide them over. These stops, these color, where the color goes in, I have to click OK in order to do that. All right, now I like that color there. Maybe this, we'll put a new color in. The way I'm doing that is clicking below here, okay? Just like Illustrator. That's nice, but see, I'm thinking of putting, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that, okay? So you get some really neat effects here. And then let's change this one. Maybe make this much more lighter here. And slide it over. So it really pops that out. We can slide these over a little bit. We can slide that over. Oh, that's great. You know, I love doing this. So I'd like to go to black in some of this. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to go and do, pick a. There we go. So now the tires are black. All the things I intend to be black are there. Now, here's the deal. The headlights I'd like to make a different color, but in order to do that, I would have to go in here, and we can do it. But because this car is all flat, I just brought this flat. There's no layers to this car. There are layers in Procreate. We're gonna just have to go in, and I'm gonna use. Let me see if I can use one of these tools here. A quick selection tool may do it. Almost did it. Okay. Let me see if I can get rid of some stuff here. Almost. Very close. But I'm going to go back to my lasso tool and then just take out some stuff. Because you can individually color things. You just got to make sure they're selected. And we can always change the selection a bit inside. So what we want to do is we'll make a gradient map. We'll turn this one off for the moment. We'll come down here, do gradient map here. We'll make a new one. Okay, so we can work with the one that we have here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and pick a maybe real dark. There we go. See that? Boom. It's just instant. I love that. Of how fast it colors. Okay, I was trying to go to this one, but Photoshop makes me close that, and then I can come down to here and change this. And maybe this one will be a little bit more orangey. I'm just playing around to see what I could do here to this. And click OK, and we can slide this over here like this. Slide this over here like that. There we go. I like that. Okay, maybe bring this over a little bit more. Oh, cool. Okay, so I put that above that, but we're going to have to put this gradient map over here. Okay, and that's how we do that. Now, if you don't want the entire gradient map to affect something, that's why you've got a mask. So if let's say I wanted those tires to be the color up underneath, which are, and I'm talking about the wheel rims here, okay? This part, the hubcap. The way we would take that out is we would go in here with the paintbrush. Let me go and find my brushes. And we're going to just get a hard round brush for the moment. But let me make sure we're on this. Oh, I'm painting with white. You have to paint with black. So we'll hit X. And see, this will take that out if we wanted to leave this. And I personally like the color in there, but that's why you have a layer mask in case you want, if you've got pre-existing color, because you can apply a gradient map to something that already has color. It's very simple. And so, let's say for this car, for instance, we take everything, we just flatten it down, because all we got to do is select all these layers here and do Command E. And of course, it looks like that, and we'll call it car. Okay, and so if we were going to color it again, and I'm just going to show you. Go to gradient map. Voila! It will put in I could put another gradient map on top of something that's already been in color. Okay, so you don't just have to paint in grayscale. And the reason why that one's doing that is because I'm just playing around showing you all these different ones here. But again, we would have to go in here and start to play around. There we go. All right, so that's pretty much how gradient maps work. And I just canceled out of that. Let me go back here for just a second here. Click OK. All right, so, and we can name that one if we want to. But anyway, that's how you can color things extremely quickly. And I hope this tutorial helps you out. Okay, and this will be it.